Hi. Yesterday I made a video about what submission of a wife to her husband looks like. And today I wrote about it on Facebook. And this has come up a lot in the last couple years. A wife said she's not going to submit to her husband if he asks her to be vaccinated. And I know women have written me about the husband wants the children to be vaccinated and they don't want the children to be vaccinated. So do they have to submit to that? So this is a tough one for me. My mom, I talked about my parents yesterday, and I wanted to let you know they ended up, the last 8 years of their lives were wonderful, and they loved each other deeply and treated each other that way. And my mom felt horrible for the way that she argued with him, and my dad felt badly for not spending enough time with her. So there was a lot of healing in the 8 years of the marriage, and we just are so thankful they stuck it out, because we had a place to go as a family for Christmas when my children were young, and they loved their grandparents. So it's their faithfulness, sticking it out together, was a blessing for us. But I wanted to talk about the vaccination issue. My mom had colitis when I was 5 years old. Her lower intestine was bleeding. And so she went to the doctor. My dad was a doctor. She was raised by a mother, as I've shared, who believed drugs, doctors, and demons went together. So she wasn't raised going to the doctor. My grandma never vaccinated any of her children. 7 children, or took them to the doctor. But when she got married to my dad and got colitis, my dad told her to go to the doctor, and she wanted to. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor said there's no cure, and you just need to eat white food, white rice and white bread to let it heal. And on steroids. She tried that and got so sick. So she researched, and she decided to go a different route. She fasted on water for 21 days. She went on vegetable juices, organic foods, and it was hit and miss trying to figure out what she can eat and not eat. Like, she couldn't eat meat and dairy products for years. But after 6 years, she was healed. She no longer bled. She even had a colonoscopy to prove to the doctors that her colitis, her ulcerative colitis, was cured, and they agreed it was cured. And she never had any problem after that. And that was 60, she lived 60 years after that. I forget, I'd have to figure that out. But it was about 10 when she was healed, when I was 10. So anyway, what about wives and their husbands wanting them to vaccinate? Should they do this? A lot of women are convicted about not vaccinating. They've researched it. They don't like the ingredients. They don't like the side effects. Candace Owens has been on fire lately teaching about this. She's going to be making a video about every single disease and the vaccination for it, and how they were all, I don't know, it's just amazing. So, excuse me. I still cough from COVID once in a while. It's that lingering cough. So anyway, and they feel like they've used aborted fetuses in the, did I already say this? In the testing of and the using of the vaccinations, and they just don't trust them. And a lot of them have experienced side effects as children, or they've seen their children have horrible side effects of them. My advice to people who are wondering about vaccinations is to get the insert in the vaccination, study the ingredients, study the side effects, study the disease itself, and make a wise decision. Research. I'm not telling anyone what to do, because I'm not a doctor, but I don't think doctors know everything. I think you have to research for yourself a lot of things. Any drug you take or vaccination, you need to research and make sure that that's something you want to do. But so should a wife, if a husband wants his wife to vaccinate and she feels all the things I mentioned previously, that it would be sinful for her to take it because she believes that they're completely wrong and harmful. This is my own opinion about that. I would say no, she wouldn't need to take it. And the reason I say that is because I tell women that they do not have to have anal sex with their husbands, because that's harmful. They don't need to submit to things that are harmful to them. And if they truly believe that vaccinations are harmful to them, I don't believe they need to submit to that. I know some women will probably disagree with me, and they may be right. They're going to have to answer to the Lord for what they believe and what they teach, and I will too. But I don't think most husbands are going to ask their wives to get the vaccination if the wife doesn't want them. I don't think it's that many that would actually, really force them or whatever. The children's a different story. I really feel like this is something you should discuss before you're married. My husband and I didn't, but we read a book called The Poison Needle that convinced us not to give our children the shots together. And my sisters and their husbands did too. So thankfully we're all on the same page. But a mother can do that. She can research it and give her husband all the information, but he still may be so adamantly for vaccinations that I believe she does have to submit in this area, because she has no ability to stop her husband from taking the children to the pediatrician and not vaccinating the children. It could cause just massive chaos and divorce and arguing and quarreling, and God doesn't want that. So for women whose husbands are completely pro-vaccination, research all the ways that you can make your children as healthy as possible. Lots of healthy fats, lots of healthy proteins. There's a way to detox from the vaccination. I think Deep Roots at Home, Jacqueline has some. Research that like crazy. Just pray over your children before they get vaccinated and just trust the Lord, but don't destroy your marriage over this. Don't let it steal your joy. Pray. I mean, I could say the same thing to wives, just eat as healthy and pray, but it's just a hard topic for me because I'm so against vaccinations, if you noticed. But just seek the Lord in wisdom and pray, and don't look for ways to not submit to your husband. Submit to him in everything, unless, like I said yesterday, unless you feel that is sin and against God's will for you. The vaccination thing could be a conviction, and you have to be careful with that. A lot of women have a lot of convictions that aren't biblical. They're not a sin, or they are not a sin. So you can't justify it in the Bible as being a sin if the husband asks you to do that. But just be wise. Ask older godly women if you're not sure. But on the vaccination thing, pray, seek the Lord, pray over your children, try to reason with your husband, pray that the Lord will convict and change him. But if he's not, it's not something that you destroy your marriage over. Your children need their mother and father under the same roof, in harmony, and loving each other deeply. I'm sorry, it's a really tough topic. But that's my counsel to you. So, but you will be responsible for God, for submitting to your husband and everything and obeying him. So be wise. Don't just go off your emotions and feelings, but do what's right and what God calls you to do, even when it's hard. So anyway, I hope this helps. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.